Yes, and then there's Ruben Duran. Now, he is somebody who I very much enjoyed his last fight, which I believe was his first in the UFC. And I think it was against Takeya Mizugaki, but I could be wrong. Whoever it was somebody of that ilk and of that calibre. And I don't think he won. But he did do well enough in the fight to really impress me, and I sort of became a bit of a fan that day. So I'm hoping that he is able to beat Francisco Rivera here. There are just a couple of other fights that I feel do need to be gone through, really. And those are, the first one being Ryan McGivelry and Shamar Bailey. This is the only one from the actual season that I'm interested in. Shamar Bailey I'd heard of and known before TUF. Ryan I hadn't, and I sort of gave up watching TUF halfway through. But before that, when I was doing sort of write-ups about them, I had communication from him. I'm glad that both of these two have been chosen to actually be in the final. I also think that they are incredibly evenly matched, not only in statistics. I mean, they virtually got the same record and almost the same reach and everything like that as well. Now, I don't know. I don't know who is going to win this one. And I don't know who I want to win this one. I think I want a draw. No, I think I probably would settle with either one of them winning, because I think this is going to be a really good fight. Personally, I ever so slightly towards Ryan, I think, on this one. How, I don't know. I wouldn't like to say. The next one is Josh Grisby versus George Roop. Interesting one, this for me. Josh Grisby, somebody who has been doing extremely well, but I think either hurt himself or got injured or something and hasn't been around for a while. George Roop, somebody who I've always almost looked down on in all these prediction videos, but he has also done quite well. And this is quite an interesting sort of mix now. I don't actually know who I think will win this one. I think George Roop is more reliable in terms of being more consistent. The problem is Josh Grisby is terribly opportunistic, and any opportunity that presents itself will be utilised and capitalised on. I don't know, again, who I want to go for on this one. I'm tempted just to go for Josh Grisby, but I think that could be just because I generally do go for almost anybody against George Roop. I don't know. I don't know what he's done that makes me sort of feel like this. I don't think I've ever had contact with him, and I don't think he's done anything really to upset me, but for some reason, so there we are. And then there was Jeremy Stephens and Dan Downs. This is another incredibly difficult one for me. I do like Jeremy Stephens. I worry now about how reliable and consistent he is. But I also like Dan Downs. He's quite a new one who's been up and coming. And a bit like Ruben Duran and a couple of others, I've sort of got to know them in the last sort of maybe year or so with some of their fights. And I've got to like them and I've got to support them. And here, you know, Jeremy Stephens has a huge record, and he does have a very, very extensive background. One almost expects him to win, and it almost looks a bit like a squash match. I'm not really worried who wins this one. I want to actually see what the fight brings out. I think that probably Dan Downs is the underdog in this match. I also think that he has a brilliant chance to show just how good he is when faced with somebody who is extremely skilled and has been around a very, very long time. So I think Jeremy Stephens might win. I'm hoping that Dan Downs manages to pull it off. And I think either way, I am expecting to see why I support Dan Downs basically through this match, whether he wins or not. Again, a lot like with Ruben Duran. Sometimes for me, when it comes to being a fan of someone, it's not always that they win. Often it's more like how they perform. Are they entertaining, and are they technically good as well, and how they carry themselves. So I'm looking really to see Dan Downs flourish in this match. Maybe not win, maybe, you never know, but I'm looking for solid proof that he can flourish, that I will be sort of entertained and impressed by this one way or the other. And I think that's all. I think the rest of them I've covered already quickly. Again, I'm very sorry at how quickly this has come upon me, and that I haven't been able to do a proper video. But I hope this half a video goes some way to, even if it is uploaded about an hour before the fights or whatever, goes some way to apologising for that.